Hi, good evening. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. I know you were expecting Fenty Tahiru sitting here. Well, he's not around and I'm holding the fort for him until he returns. I'm sure he'll be back by next week. But the show must go on, and so somebody has to sail the ship, and I'm here. My name is Nathan Carr. Many thanks for tuning in. This is Scorecard, the show that runs the rule over everything that's happened across a sporting weekend. And then we go over everything, do some great analysis, have some lovely times, read your messages, and then we call it a night. We are running up until 10:30 p.m. on this network. So many thanks for joining. If you are watching us via DSTV channel 363 or GoTV channel 182 or even free to air, it's wonderful having you join us on a Sunday night to talk sports ahead of a nice 2-day holiday. So it doesn't matter if you stay up a little late to enjoy us. Your messages, of course, are welcome on the number 0550-585832, 0550-585832, hashtag City Sports, and go through as many of them as possible before the show comes to an end. We'll take a very, very quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce the guys on the show and we start rolling. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me introduce my guest. The regular in the equation is here. Coach Christopher Nimley. Coach, how are you doing?
Oh, very well.
I haven't been on this set in, years? In donkeys, man.
Yeah, man.
But it doesn't matter. We are back.
As usual, you, Fenty, and Ketia, the level is still the same. And at the end of the day, any of you very capable of stepping in and then doing a decent show.
I'm sure.
But I'm happy, though.
Yeah.
I'm from a place the host of the show, the original host, has made me happy.
He's made you happy.
Yeah, he's part of why I'm late, but everything is cool.
No, we'll discuss that a little later. Yao Mensah is joining us. Yao, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's been a while. I've not seen you on this show in a bit.
Yes.
But you are more regular than I am. Relatively.
Relatively speaking, yes. Yeah, I've been on the show on a couple of occasions.
Okay.
It's good to be back, though.
All right, nice to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off with the Ghana Premier League, and it's still ongoing despite the many things that are distracting us as a country. Remember, there was the World Cup qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers, AFCON itself, all kinds of other things. But the Ghana Premier League is happening unabated. And Asante Kotoko, they are trying to win that title from Accra Hearts of Oak. They took a giant step towards that. They traveled to the Red Bull Arena over the weekend to play WAFA. And it was a meeting of somebody meeting his ex, quote unquote, because Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum here, he was in charge of WAFA for many years until he left to Asante Kotoko. He took his new team back to his old place. And he ended up winning by a slim margin to give his team a huge advantage in the title hunt in the Ghana Premier League. Let's enjoy the pictures from the Red Bull Arena as Kotoko defeated WAFA by a single goal to 0.
7 fixture in Soga Kope. Now Zoo. Beautiful play from WAFA. Zoo's effort will receive the applause from Guillermo Zarakota. Impressive play from the Academy lads. Here comes Steven Amankuna. He's got entry Mensah to be the lovely skill. Amankuna to the near post. Impressive play from Amankuna, but it's not beating Osei Bonsu.
No, that was a very intelligent run by Kunudu, but a bit more on that later.
Gamo finds Nete now. Here's it to Mudasiru. Good save from Bonsu.
Yeah, that's a lot better from Kotoko. Etuga realized he can't get a turn, but he's setting up his man. The weight on his pass is good, and the way Mudasiru arrives is perfect. He's bending over the ball and he's latching onto it with every drive he's got.
That's the whistle. It's WAFA nil. Asante Kotoko nil. Ready for second half kickoff.
Yeah, I think based on what we saw in the first half, the managers will be asking these two sides to be more precise when they get into the final third.
But Ajuman's ball is intercepted. Here is Kunedu. Powerful header from Nete. But is WAFA coming close? Ofori Ajuman. Lovely ball through by Jamna. Here comes A Japan. Good save done, lad. Clearance away by Owusu. Good ball from Apil to Etuga. Here is Etuga. Here is Etuga. It is Etuga. It's the Cameroonian goalmonger. Frank Mbella Etuga.
Keeps his cool. When he's in the box, as I've said, he's the coolest player you find on the pitch. Rounds the goalkeeper. Finds the empty nets for his 18th goal of the season.
Tedeku Owusu. He turns onto his right foot. Here is Marvin Owusu. Danlad saves. It is Samson Japan. Danlad saves again, but the Japan was offside before he made that attempt. Oh, lovely pass to find Etuga. Here is Etuga creating space for himself. It is Etuga. Bakil and Mfege's drive. Parried. WAFA pushing desperately for the equalizer, appealing for a penalty. Here is Tosuche.
All right, so it was Cameroonian magic that handed Asante Kotoko all 3 points on the day. Frank Mbella. So Frank Mbella has the new club record for Asante Kotoko in his hands. Now, a few weeks ago, it came up in conversations. People were even doubting due to the number of penalties he had scored, but it looks like he has the record now, and he's a very, very reliable goal scorer for Asante Kotoko. Should they win the title, they need to thank him because a lot of his goals are the reason why they might probably win the league. Coach, let me start off with you. Your thoughts on the encounter? Kotoko won by a singular goal, but it ended up being enough to give them 3 points, especially as they are chasing the Ghana Premier League title.
Yeah, you see, before the game, so many things had gone on. Off the pitch incidents where management, their approach to stamping their authority or their level of discipline in the team, some of us have questioned. I'm one of those who believe that the manner in which they've handled certain issues, I would have done it differently.
Some players are on suspension.
Yes, some players are on suspension, and if you listen to what is being said out there, I've spoken to somebody very close to the player, and the manner in which the head coach, Prosper, have been addressing some of the players. If indeed, read my lips, this is national television, if and only if, in addressing these players, the words, which of course I will not say here, were indeed used, then I think Prosper needs to be spoken to. Now, with all his experience, there's a better way of going about that. But let's come to the football. You see, the manner in which they've handled the thing is brought about some form of pressure leading to this game, especially with some players being suspended and some players being asked to leave the entire setup of the team. So Kotoko themselves were under pressure. The manager is on record to have said that he believes some of the players are trying how to sabotage him. And in my view, if you look at how crucial we are, where we are in the season, the way it's so crucial, he needs to be very careful. This is where he needs to trust and bring every player on board. They played very well, without a doubt, because this is a game. Look, Kotoko has never won at Sugakope before. Kotoko, they've never won at Sugakope. This is the very first time they've done so.
Yeah.
I think they've played 6 or 7 games, they've lost 4 and drawn 3, something of the sort. But they've never won at Sugakope. So if you look at what has transpired within the team and for them to put themselves together, go all the way to a place that they've never won, knowing very well that WAFA themselves are so much in need of the points. And for them to have done what they did, congratulations to them. One can only hope that this victory would start a run of victories in very difficult games. They'll be playing Brecum Chelsea, they'll be playing Mediama, they'll be playing Ediana. They've got some very difficult games to navigate. They can only use this as a catalyst to get them to navigate those games, because it is clear that the chasing pack, when I say the chasing pack, specifically the chasing, they don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to actually mount a proper challenge, because I think in the past 2 or 3 weeks, the Kotoko form has been very undulating, and I thought that Bechem should have used that to at least make this a contest between the two teams. But anytime Kotoko were to lose, they also go either they lose or they draw. And for me, it doesn't speak volume. I've got serious issues with the manner in which they lost against 11 Wonders. I'm talking about Bechem. If you look at what transpired, we are getting there again. You see, we are getting
you feel that teams are beginning to speak to each other.
Oh yes.
Away from the pitch.
Go watch that game again. A game where when 11 Wonders scored, the away team scored the third goal. Every single supporter started jubilating. The sort of things we have heard that warranted that jubilation from even the home supporters.
Interesting stuff.
To add up to what Coach said, we've had a situation where an Indiana Stars, for instance, they've conceded a goal and an Indiana Stars player was caught on video doing this.
It's serious, though.
Doing this.
In which game was this?
I can't remember the specific game, but it happened. And we've had another situation where referee Isaac Osei has penned his report to the GFA, where he indicated match reports, where he indicated that a game played at the Brecon Park had one player score 2 own goals.
Yes.
And the manner of the own goals had intentional motives behind it, and nothing has been done about it. And this happened in the first round.
Okay.
This happened in the first round. So what coach says is it alludes to what has been happening in recent times, and you don't want that to happen, because in the latter part of last season, it pretty much ruined the momentum that the Ghana Premier League
especially
had
the
built.
last game, and it's that game that we are still dealing with now, the Ash Gold Inter Allies game, and we don't know the head and tail of that case.
If the people I know the people are at the FA, this is one program that they watch. A word of advice to them: go back, go look at that Bichim 11 Wonders.
Bichim 11 Wonders game.
The game that Bichim was comfortably in the lead, 2-0 in the lead. In the last 20 minutes.
When was this game played? A few weeks ago.
I think about four weeks ago.
Okay.
In the last 20 minutes, they considered 3 goals. 3 goals. Go look at the penalty that the referee even awarded. The manner in which the player conceded the penalty. And go look at the reaction of the supporters when the away team scored that third goal. Every single supporter
was happy.
Home supporter,
they were cheering.
They were jubilating. Why do you think they were jubilating?
Wow, interesting stuff. I'm sure the people at the FA, I'm sure you get the match reports. We know you get the match reports. We know you have the tapes. We know you watch the game. So please keep an eye on these things, because we don't want the game tarnished. Anyway, we stay with the Ghana Premier League. Your thoughts on WAFA have had a very wretched season, and they are still in the relegation woes. It looks like they may go down. There's not enough turnaround time to probably save their season. Why do you think this has happened to them? For a team that last season finished third, I think the best finish they had, third under Dr. Ogum. Now they are in the back. They are involved in a relegation battle. It doesn't look good at all.
Yes, it's a natural process that happens. In football, outside football, it's a natural process that happens. Back in the day, in agricultural science class, you are taught that when you keep on winning the sand, winning the soil, planting consistently without giving the soil enough time to regenerate its nutrients, pretty much, you end up making the soil, I think, infertile. You have to give it a fallow period. Yes, that's the right way, a fallow period. And it applies to football. When you constantly sieve off the top talent, it will get to a point where you cannot replenish that talent, that quality of talent with the guys you are pushing to the elite level. And we've seen it over the years with other teams. AS Monaco was challenging for Champions League final spots.
Everybody bought their team.
Everybody bought their players, and it got to a point they almost got relegated under Leonardo Jardim. We've seen what has happened to Udinese back in the day, where they were top 4 contender, or a top contender for 4th place in the Italian Serie A, and consistently they kept on shipping their players out. The likes of Kojo Samoa, Suleiman Taris and co. From a Ghanaian perspective, they all went through the Udinese rank. And now it has caught up to them. Okay. Now Udinese isn't a top 4 contender. So you look at WAFA, the number of players that they've been shipping out of the team, it will definitely catch up to them. And this is this is the result of consistently shipping out players. But talent is very difficult to replicate. Talent is very difficult to replicate. So I'm not too surprised that they find themselves in this position. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to survive, because you look at the contenders for the relegation battle. There are so many, and the point build-up is so close. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to make a win or two and escape relegation.
Chris?
Look, I think they will go down. Yeah. Look, they are the team I support in the league. Apart from my traditional team that I support, you take that team away. Yeah. I'm a WAFA fan. I was very close to Coach Samadi. I more or less sat in his home. We talked football. Yeah. Most of my coaching books, the late Coach Samadi recommended, and then I bought and read. And so he myself could talk proper things. He would give me work to do. I put them into perspective, and then he go through and then pass it through. But look, since his death, the place has never been the same.
Okay.
That is what it is. That is where the problem is. The manner in which the place is being run has completely changed. Look, I was at the verge of putting aside everything that I was doing, and I was going to join Coach Ade.
there.
I have never said this publicly anywhere, because he's no more to attest to what I'm saying. But I am stating emphatically that after his death, and then I think the owner, the one who owns the team, the brain behind that whole thing, he's also passed on. Since the exit of these two.
So you feel that the team is not being managed well?
It is what it is, because if you're dealing with young, talented boys, one thing that you cannot afford to do is not to decide when to sell and when not to sell. When Coach Ade was there, I can attest to, look, there were times where teams came calling. But Coach Ade, with all his experience, would tell them, look, for the next 2 years, nobody, no player is leaving the academy. Why? Because he was of the view, they don't go splashing the cash to bring in new players to replace. But before he sells, he always made sure that those to take up the mantle or the baton were ready to step in the shoes of the exiting players. But as we speak today,
it's not same, and so there's this dip in
like
quality.
you said, they placed third last season.
Yeah.
Go look at the players they shipped out. The question is, those who have come to replace those, are they ready? They would have been ready 2 seasons from now.
2 seasons from now.
So
and they have to play the league now.
Exactly. If Coach Ade was around, he would have kept those boys.
So what will happen? Assuming they go down, what do you think will happen to WAFA as we know it?
Look, it's going to get worse, because, look, I'm doing some research about them. I want to find out whether the source of the funding is still coming in. Because if you talk to some of the players, they actually are beginning to complain.
Okay.
The manner in which the place is being run, how they are being fed, how they are being treated, the manner in which they're being paid. Everything has had a 360 turn.
All right. So essentially, WAFA aren't doing too well. Well, maybe one of these days we'll spend more time talking about them. Let's move on to the other game. Defending champions Accra Hearts of Oak, they are still trying to put some life into their title defense. It may not work, but at least they want to finish top 4. They took on Dreams FC, who are fresh off appointing Ignatius Osei-Fosu as their latest head coach. The two of them met at the Accra Sports Stadium. This is exactly what happened.
Fitted in so well into this as a book to me. Gets to Awako. Awaku's ball gets a block. Would this be the first goal? And Daniel Afriye Barnier puts the Phobians ahead.
Yeah, I like how Hearts win the ball on that side. Inkum, Awaku, and everybody involved. Awaku is trying to go for the air strike. I think if it goes through, the goalkeeper makes a save.
Inkum swings in across. Bani on the volley. Brilliant save from Kumsin. Siraj will take advantage of this one. Here is Siraj. It is Siraj! Awesome! This is absolutely amazing. What a goal from the young chap Siraj.
That is what he's doing there. Nobody tight enough. A very good hit. Goalkeeper gets something. And maybe if he looks at it again, he'll be disappointed. He doesn't get enough power in the save. But
good play from Ejenim Boateng, trying to find Boahin. Boahin's header. And he's missed. Simba picks out Ejenim Boateng as a poor first touch, but he manages to hang on to possession. He's looking for Boachi. He goes down in the box and there's a penalty for Dreams FC. On Ejeni Boateng. He makes it. Ejeni Boateng. And it's over for first half football.
Which means that the second half would have a different complexion altogether.
It is Benjamin York sprinting down the left side. It's an own goal. Heading the ball into the back of his own net as if he was a striker York was aiming at.
I'll tell you what, if he was a striker, that wouldn't have been a bad header at all. Real spin about it. It's a really good header for a striker.
I'm quite in confusion, but Richard Atta nearly. Issa Yakubu has blasted and is gone over the bar for a goal kick. Amankwa makes a mistake. Adamu Amadu pounces on it. Here is Adamu Amadu. Adamu Amadu has fluffed the opportunity. Daniel Laye.
Hearts of Oak winning 3-1 there. Interesting. Lovely goal from Suraj. The own goal and what almost was a blunder on the part of Richard Atta. He would have made the front pages, trust me, if that had leaked or kind of like bubbled into the back of the net. But Hearts of Oak winning by 3-1. Yeah, very interesting scoreline. Hearts of Oak at home, or this season generally, have not fared too well, but this is one of their better displays. So they managed to put 3 past Dreams.
Yes, this is one of their better displays. This is one of the few games that Accra Hearts of Oak have scored multiple goals. They don't tend to score a lot of goals, particularly this season. Once they won last season's title, the goal seems to have dried up this season. But I'm not too surprised that Dreams FC lost this game. You look at even the lead up to Suraj's goal, that's the second goal for Hearts of Oak. Yeah. They tried to play out from the back, and it was a terrible back pass that led to Suraj getting the ball. And he was able to do the rest and score a beautiful goal. It's all down to the new coach. When a new coach comes in, he brings new tactics, and it's clear that Ignatius Fosu, what he has done in the lead up to his appointment as the Dreams FC coach, is very tactical. He's one of those guys who are very brainy when it comes to the fine details of the game, and it's clear that he wants to impact the new style, the modern style of football to this team. But it's too soon. It's too soon for it to gel, for it to work. And the breakdown or the downside to it not working is what led to the second goal by Accra Hearts of Oak. Brilliant goal from Suraj, but when you concede possession in that position, that's just criminal. And Hearts of Oak, kudos to them. They were able to take advantage of the opportunities that came there. When a free Ebani, he's getting his scoring boots on, and it's good news for Accra Hearts of Oak, and it's good news for the national selectors too, because I think he's one of those guys who is always around the danger area. He's always creating opportunities. He's always creating chances. He's putting the defense under enormous pressure with his runs, with his trickery. Although he tends to waste a lot of chances, that's what he needs to work on. But I think he's one for the future. And Accra Hearts of Oak, they are making a strong run, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making it to third place, and they might even shoot for second place, especially looking at the form of Bechem United.
Well, we'll see if Hearts of Oak can do that. Chris, your thoughts on the encounter? We saw Glatson Awako with his hair all sprayed, the own goals and all. I don't know what you made of the encounter, but I thought Hearts of Oak had a relatively comfortable afternoon.
Now, there's something I'm beginning to observe, and I think it is very good on the part of Hearts of Oak. They have clearly relinquished the league title to Kotoko. So whatever they do now is in preparation for next season. The Siraj board, Samuel Bwedu is beginning to introduce players that if the competition was that keen, he wouldn't trust. He wouldn't believe in. But now that the title is gone, it's clear that some of the young boys who's got proper talent, proper ability, now begin to get introduced into the setup, so that by the time next season will come around, they would have had a feel of the Samuel Bwedu way of doing things, and Hearts of Oak can kick on from there. But at the end of the day, what he really needs to watch is to, again, not to tamper with the core of his team. I've always said that anytime he tends to change the setup, especially in the middle of the park, a bit too much. Okay, there are times when you are doing that. The spine of the team should always be available. That I am not seeing. So if he can find a way of introducing these young guys, but making sure that one or two guys who understand his way of doing it is always around, helping in teaching these guys what to do. For Ignatius, look, if you take up a team mid of the season, the coaching will tell you that don't go in there and try to impose your identity. When you go in there, you look at what has been done, whether working or not, and try and play to the strength of your players. And then you coach your identity through their strength. If you do so, the players themselves immediately begin to fall in love with your ideology and begin to play for you. But when you go and in the middle of the season, you've not had preseason with them, when you walk in there, once the season is ongoing, you just come and say, look, I want to. No, somebody tried that when he came to House of Folk at the beginning, and it didn't work. Some of us prompted him, play to the strength of Efutu, play to the strength of Neti, play to the strength of Salisu. And then it worked for him, and he won the league.
All right, let's have a look at the league table, or the full results rather. Let's have a look at the full result. There you have it. WAFA losing at home. Olympics drawing on the road at 11 Wonders. RTU were a bit too strong for Accra Lions. Legon City's beat Elmina Sharks. So Legon City, that's their third straight win. They are trying to save their season, and they are doing a good job. King Faisal 2, Bechem 2, Karela 2, Gold Stars 0, Hearts 3, Dreams 1, Ash Gold 5, Brekum Chelsea 1, Ash Gold 5, Brekum Chelsea 1. Now, Yao Ano has 16 goals now. Imbella has 18. So all of a sudden, it's a shootout between Yao Ano and Imbella for who tops the scorers chart. Yao Ano, on the back of Ash Gold banging in the goals, they are there. On Monday night, there's a game, on Monday afternoon, there's a game between Aduana Stars and Midiama, a very, very important game. Let's have a look at the league table. So Kotoko on 55, Bechem 10 points behind, Hearts of Oak 12 points behind. Credit to Hearts of Oak, they've managed to move themselves into the top 3, and it looks like they may want to hunt down Bechem for second place. Mediama on 42, Aduana Stars, Olympics, Karela all on 40. Chelsea, Legon City's Ash Gold on 39, I believe. Ash Gold on 38. Gold Stars on 35. Accra Lions on 33. Dreams on 32. RTU on 30. Faisal on 31. Wonders on 29. WAFA on 26. Sharks on 20. So, yeah, just like you said, it's still very close. RTU, King Faisal, Wonders, and WAFA all in the mix. You can even add Dreams and Lions and all of that because the points gap is so thin.
And there are 7 games left to play.
There are 7 games left. Anything
for those
can happen.
Teams, with the exception of Midiama and Aduana Stars, who have to play on Monday.
Yeah.
So there are 7 more games left.
Anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen if and only if there will be proper contest.
Okay.
Or proper competition.
I get your point, and I think it's a valid point you make, that the 7 games will have to be played fairly.
Oh, yes.
Keenly contested.
And then we see who comes out.
Who gets relegated.
Who stays. All right. You're still watching Scorecard on Citi TV. The guys are still here. Yaminta Coach, namely, my name is Nathan Carl. A lot of the messages have come in. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, I go through some of your messages. And we jet off to England. All kinds of interesting things happening in the Premier League. Top 4, title, relegation, things to be resolved, things to be concluded in the next few weeks. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is on Citi. Welcome back. This is still Scorecard on Citi TV. Some of your messages have come in. Let me read them. Sana from Boku says, I want to know what's wrong with WAFA because I don't understand why a football academy will be languishing in the relegation zone. Well, you heard from Coach a bit of there are some issues with management. Abdul Wadud from Aboaso in the Ashanti region says, we talk about women's football, especially Hazakis ladies. This one says, City is winning the league in Champions League. Joy from Kumasi. Jonathan Tefie from Ayikuma says both Liverpool and Asante Kotoko won their games. He's happy. This one says, Coach, are you aware that the Ethiopian League is on DSTV? Says, what's happening to our GPL? Well, the Ghana Premier League used to be on DSTV but they took it off.
Should go and ask Kotoko. He can explain.
This one says, Frank Etuga embellished composure in the 18-yard box is second to none. Eric Pepra sent us a message. John Commodore from Akwetia says, I love this show so much, just like I love my woman, Juju. So he loves Juju.
They're grateful.
Boys. Jonathan Jonah from Ashaiman says, my weekend was so sweet because Arsenal and Kotoko won. This one says, shout outs to the Phobians for the good work done. Anything can happen. All right. This one says, I am Best from Nigeria. I love Scorecard very much. Thank you very much, Best, for watching. Elikem from Adenta, he seems to have a reason why Fent Tahiru is not here. He says because Fent knows coach will laugh at him because Everton beat Chelsea. Okay. Somebody is asking if coach doesn't think Everton's win looked suspicious. Fred from Osu. Amweni Benjamin, a.k.a. Asumjeba, is watching from Achim Akoso. He says, congrats to Hearts for winning today. This one says, I'm watching a lovely movie with my babe for her to get angry, telling me it's time to watch Scorecard. He says, big ups. Wow. Okay. This one says, nice program. Thanks to my team, Barcelona, for the win. And he says, Mrs. Agnes Belsing is watching the show live from Kofredia. That's from, is it Muideen Belsing? Okay, all right. More messages, please, on the number 0550 585832. Hashtag is Scorecard. Hashtag is Scorecard. I'll try and read more messages from Twitter a little later. Let's move on to England. And all kinds of interesting things have been happening. Both Liverpool and Man City are still going at each other for who gets the right to be called Premier League champions. Arsenal are in the hunt for top four. Chelsea had to face a tricky tie at Everton. All of that coming right up next on Scorecard. So we are jetting off to England. We give you all the games, ones involving West Ham, Arsenal, Leeds, Man City, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Everton, Chelsea. Interesting set of results from the Premier League. Wow, guys, let's start off with the two teams who are going at each other for the title. Liverpool went up first. They won 1-0 at Newcastle. Man City had to respond because they were playing about 4 hours or so later. They did. Heavy response. They beat Leeds United by 4-0.
Look, that is why it's a two-horse race. The two teams are so better than the rest. Arguably, they are the best two teams in the world as we speak.
True.
And for me, Liverpool, they know what they have to do. They know they don't have their destiny in their own hands. So they have to keep winning, hoping that Man City will go and choke somewhere. City too are so much aware of the situation that they know they have their destiny in their hands. So we'll take the bull by the horn and dictate the tempo. So if you win, you go up, we come and win. We take our rightful position. I have already said that I think Man City will win the league because if we look at the games they've got left to play, I don't see them dropping points against any of such opposition. Now, if you look at the way Liverpool naturally is going about their business, they unusually, they are not playing that well. If you watch that game against Newcastle, there were times in the game where it looked very, very scrappy. Newcastle argued that the goal that eventually won the game, they should have been awarded a free kick. When we looked at the goal again, it was clear that there wasn't a foul. That was a clean tackle by James Milner. And credit must be given to Naby Keita, the composure, the calmness with which he damaged everybody. About 3 Newcastle defenders, including the goalkeeper, and slaughtered the ball. You see, Liverpool are doing the work in such a manner. They know that when they take the lead against the lesser opposition or the weak opposition,
they are not coming back.
They are very comfortable. They believe in their back four and they believe in the ability of the goalkeeper to go on and keep a clean sheet. And again, that's what they have done. So their win wasn't that pretty. But if you look at what Man City did, people were hoping that Leeds United will repeat what they did to Man City last season when they held them to a 1-1 draw at
Elland Road.
Exactly. But look, when the game started, Liverpool had thrown a challenge to them. They had to answer. They had to respond. And it was emphatic. It was so beautifully done that if you are a Man City supporter, you can only applaud. Because, look, the quality of the football. What was shocking to me this time around is the fact that the first 2 goals came from set pieces.
Yeah.
It tells you of the all-round ability, competence of the entire team. They know They are thinking about Real Madrid.
Real Madrid,
No two ways about that. The thoughts of Real Madrid will continue to be in their head because they stand between them and the Champions League final. But anytime Liverpool feels that look, we've gotten these guys where we want them to be, hopefully they will go and choke. They return the baton back to Liverpool and say, take, the ball is in your court. Go through another challenge and we'll definitely respond. I think it's going to go back and forth like that. And at the end of the day, like I've said, I trust Pep Guardiola and his men to retain the league title.
Yeah, for just quickly on Man City, winning heavy was important because they had a goal difference to make up. Now all of a sudden, there's only one goal between themselves and Liverpool.
Yeah, I look at these two teams and it's just like the Spanish league back in the day where you just had Barcelona and Real Madrid going at it and competing for the title, and virtually the rest of the league had no say. And it's just the same thing playing out in the English Premier League, where it's just Man City and Liverpool. They are miles and miles ahead of everyone. And I tip them to make it to the Champions League finals and
the
battle.
Two of them.
Yes, I see them in the Champions League final. I see Man City being able to get a result against Real Madrid in Spain because it has set up nicely for them. Though they could have won by a bigger margin, but just that win alone, it sets them up perfectly for them to be able to exploit the high line of Real Madrid and use the counter-attack to beat them, their speed on the counter-attack to beat them.
Let's move on to the category that's just below the title race, the hunt for top four.
Yeah.
And Arsenal got 3 points. Chelsea dropped 3 points. And all of a sudden,
Arsenal is back in the mix to even get past Chelsea into third place.
I don't think that
you
will
don't
happen.
think that's
that will not happen.
I think it's just 3 points.
Yeah, 3 points.
Yeah, but I don't think it will happen because at the end of the day, Chelsea, look, they can come to the party when they want. Arsenal rather should be concerned about that North London derby. Yeah. I think it will come down to
Tottenham also won today. They beat Leicester by 3.
They should rather be looking at what is happening behind them. Because they have to be concerned about Tottenham, not about Chelsea. Chelsea will finish third. Arsenal may finish fourth or fifth. As it stands, they look favourite to finish fourth. But I've got the feeling that if Spurs can keep this at 2 points and meet Arsenal in that North London derby, I want to believe that there will be so much at stake for Harry Kane, Son, and the guys at Spurs who, take it or leave it, their team is a much more experienced team than this Arsenal team. Arsenal, I think they have the youngest team in the league.
Yeah, average age of 23.
If it comes down to that D-Day, I think experience will.
Interesting. You feel experience will trump youth.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff there. Now, if we go into some themes from the games, the one that jumps out at me, Arsenal scored 2 goals today from set pieces against West Ham, who ordinarily under David Moyes would be very difficult to break down. Yeah, but here Arsenal were 2 headers and that's it.
Yes, and it's explainable because you look at West Ham, they have central defensive challenges. With the exception of Kezuma, who played in this game, the other central defenders weren't available. And even the one who was available, Issa Diop, was also on the bench. It was clear that he wasn't that fit. He wasn't fully fit to play this game. Craig Dawson was suspended because he suffered, I think, the red card
last week.
Last week. And also your favorite player, Angelo Ogbonna,
he's been injured.
Is also out injured. And so they had to pair Kezuma and Vladimir Kufal in central defense. And you know that chemistry, it just wasn't there, and it led to the breakdown in communication in some instances in that game, and that's what Arsenal exploited. And also, let's not forget that Arsenal's appointment of a set-piece coach has also played a role. Has also played a role in their improvement.
Coach was working.
It's working.
Yes, unlike Man United. Set-piece coach.
Why hasn't he resigned?
I'm sure he'll resign in due course because people are leaving.
Yeah, Ten Hag will have to facilitate.
So it's a combination of those two. It's a combination of those 2 factors that got Arsenal the win in today's game.
Interesting stuff there. Let's finish our wrap with Chelsea, guys. Everton were in trouble. Everybody thought Chelsea would show up because Chelsea themselves need to try and consolidate third position. You think they are safe, but the performance today wasn't the best. Everton managed to fight and got themselves 3 points.
A lot of things are happening at Chelsea. I heard the commentator say today, a player like Mason Mount is among the least paid, or the ones who pays is like a peanut. They don't know who's going to buy the team. Players are leaving because of an uncertain future. Rudiger.
He's already committed.
If Abramovich was still in charge, he picks the phone, he gives him the money. He stays and plays. So a lot is going on with the Chelsea team. So for me, look, I envy the Chelsea players because I believe that under the circumstance, they've still kept their focus and they've gone about their job in a very emphatic manner. Today, the game against Everton was always going to be keenly contested. I think they didn't wake up until they conceded the goal. And if you look
that was just a minute into the second half.
That was when they realized that something could happen here. But when they actually stepped up, changed to the next level, you saw Everton virtually struggle through the spines of that game. And credit must be given to Pickford. He was one, after making the save, he had to quickly wake up from the turf
and then
double up in step to save an obvious goal-bound shot from Cesar Azpilicueta, who would have made amends for his error.
Yeah.
And then look at that last save from Kovacic. I thought some of this thing happened. Let's give credit to Everton. If you look at the manner in which they started the game, the tempo, the design, they did something very right. The moment the game started, they carried every supporter along. Once they upped the tempo and went at Chelsea, the supporters bought into that.
Okay.
And today, Goodison Park was extremely, very, very noisy. That is not to say these Chelsea players are not experienced enough to have silenced the place. But look, if players are... You see Everton play today and you could clearly read their lips of Lampard. Your lives depends on this. Because every match they play now, it's like a cup final.
They've got all kinds of interesting games.
Leicester,
Palace, Brentford, Arsenal on the final day.
I guess if they want to survive, they need to get that wrapped up before they go to Arsenal.
Okay.
Because if Arsenal also were to lose,
Arsenal may need that game.
I think that, like I said, if the 2 points between Arsenal and Spurs were to remain, the two teams will play before the last game will be played. So if Arsenal were to lose against Spurs, they'll have nothing to do than to hope to beat Everton and hope Spurs go and drop points.
It's important that Pickford save came into being, because you look at how important it could be for Everton in terms of their battle to stay up.
Those things were the difference between potentially 3 points and 1.
Yes, yeah. And it takes me back to last season. What happened with Liverpool and Alisson? That goal he scored against West Bromwich Albion to give them the win. That got them to the Champions League.
And look at where they are.
Look at where they are now. They are going to the Champions League final. They are going to the Champions League final. So that save, or those series of saves could prove pivotal in the Premier League status of Everton.
All right, let's go to some of your messages that have come in. Our very good friend Dr. T in Kumasi. Dr. T, thank you very much for watching. She's an avid fan of the City sports team.
Yeah.
Fento met her the other day when he traveled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. She was very helpful to Fento. So, Dr. T, good, have a lovely evening to you. She says it's refreshing to see some good football pitches in the Ghana Premier League. And congrats, Baby Jets, on the launch of Legendary. That's Jan's book. It was launched yesterday.
Charlie, I'll need a copy of that.
Yeah, we all need copies to read the inside stories. This one says, I'm happy with Hearts of Oak. I believe they will continue. Wishing a happy feast in advance, Fento. My greetings to Coach, the marriage counselor, and His Eminence Daniel Cranting. His Eminence will hear of the greeting. Thank you. Martin Edu Ose, I think, from Kowa Betifi. This one says, do you know that the points between Man United and Asante Kotoko are only 3? Are you even comparing the two? Okay.
Or maybe he's looking at it from the quality, the standpoint of the quality. It's a mismatch.
Ishmael from Agona Swedru says, when Lampard's Everton beat Man United, the way Yano made mockery of us, they didn't know they would have their fair share of the cake. Date from Ho says, Sadio Mane must be part of the Ballon d'Or conversation. Harrison, who's in Somania, says his wife loves the show. She likes Coach Nimli's submission. Okay.
We love her too. We love her.
Yeah. Eskin Churches in Winneba says, please, Man United will need about 6 years to bounce back into the top 4. Okay. Odum Jr. from Goma Potting says, I had mixed feelings about the Everton-Chelsea game. And says, greetings and happy Mother's Day in advance to my wife and son. Interesting. More messages coming in. Live from Bator says, I remember when Fento said Chelsea would be the team to beat in 2022. Coach cautioned him. Says, Coach, you are a prophet. All right. This one says, somebody says, Nathan, my wife is asking if you are back from the moon. All right. And then Dexash says, big ups to Coach Nimli. Where are Danny K and Fento? Well, they are not, and they'll be back next Friday. Please keep your messages coming in. #scorecard on the number 0550-585832. We'll take another break. When we come back, we've got more for you. We'll do stops in Italy, Germany, and then in Spain. I read more of your messages and then we call it a show. This is still Scorecard on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let's have a look at the Premier League results, the full results sheet from the match week over the weekend. There you have it. Liverpool winning. Brighton beat Wolves by 3-0. That result really surprised me. Watford won Burnley 2. I saw the second half of that game. It was a brilliant display from Burnley. They are fighting for their lives with everything they have. Southampton won Palace 2. Wilfred Zaha's winner was enough. Villa 2, Norwich 0. So guys, that confirms Norwich's relegation. Yep. We'll see them in the next 3 years. Because we'll come back. Leeds 0, Man City 4. Spurs 3, Leicester 1. Son Heung-min at the double. Hurricane scoring. So Son and Hurricane are hot. They are in form. And it looks like Antonio Conte has found the formula for them. Even though we don't know whether he will stay long term, because there are rumors that the PSG people are winking at him and giving him ice.
If they miss out on the Champions League, he will leave.
We'll see. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. West Ham 1, Arsenal 2. And then on Monday night, there's Man United versus Brentford at Old Trafford. Do you want me to give you a score line? I can give you a score line. 1-1.
1-1.
I'm just kidding. Let's move on to Spain. And at least the title race in Spain is officially over because Real Madrid, led by King Carlo Ancelotti, the first manager to win 5 major league titles in 5 different leagues, they thumped Espanyol and they led themselves to a La Liga title once again. They were playing at home in front of the fans, and Real Madrid started off very, very well. And there you see the save there. Casemiro with the header. And Real Madrid are also preparing to face Manchester City. Yeah. So, because a lot of people say that now that this is out of the way, they can fully focus on Manchester City on Wednesday.
Look, it's good they've won the league, but people should also remember that this Man City team, they've met this Real Madrid team 3 times already.
Yeah.
And they've beaten them on all 3 occasions. Twice at the Etihad, one here at this very... Look, Real Madrid will have to play above themselves on Wednesday to eliminate Man City. No 2 ways about that, because just as we saw in that first leg, a similar thing is going to happen again in that second leg, where the competition will be so keen, the battle will be so... Look, there's so much at stake.
And Real Madrid going forward there, 3-0, Marco Asensio.
Yeah, as for this boy, I really don't understand why Carlo Ancelotti just cannot get him a run of games in the setup.
Maybe there are players who are ahead of him in the team.
I mean, since he came back from his injury, I don't know whether he's still struggling to get the injury behind him.
And even in the future,
look at Vasquez with the miss there.
He would want to leave.
He may want to leave. Yes. Yeah. There you see Vinicius and his very good friend Karim Benzema. Like I choose to call them Vinny and the Benz.
Yep.
Vinny and the Benz linking up. And Chris, on Wednesday night, this is what Man City will have to prevent. The two of them combined.
But Joao Cancelo is coming back.
So it means that Vinicius will have somebody,
of course,
somebody accounts
very capable of dealing with him. Very capable of dealing with him.
Yeah, because you look at the Vinicius goal, the goal Vinicius scored against Manchester City. Fernandinho, once he was beat, he couldn't recover. Okay. That recovery speed wasn't there. Right. But Joao Cancelo or Kyle Walker comes in, they will be able to recover.
And there you see Real Madrid celebrating their Campeones. It says the Real Madrid fans very, very, very happy. Their 35th title, and they go into next season. This is an automatic ticket into the Champions League. Carlo Ancelotti enjoying his time there. I'm sure next season he will be around. A lot of people, I don't know what you guys think, but a lot of people think that this title probably marks the end of some of the playing careers at Real Madrid. Marcelo, a lot of people think that Marcelo
he's
gone. Leaving.
Of course,
will be moved on.
leaving.
Some people think that this is where Isco is leaving.
Isco
Some people
is
believe
leaving.
that this is where players like Toni Kroos start to get a reduced role because players like
Camavinga now begin to. If they were to go and get the French boy,
Tchouaméni,
I think that would be a clear indication that the days of Toni Kroos are seriously numbered. And if I'm him,
okay,
I don't think there's anything left to play for at Real Madrid.
And
would he want to attain that legendary status? I think he's already a legend of the club. So I'll be looking elsewhere. Maybe go to Italy, Milan, Inter, or Juve, and boss it there for another 2 years because the tempo there is a bit
speaking about Asensio.
Yeah.
I think should Real Madrid get Mbappe? I think he should be thinking about leaving the team.
Okay.
Because the front three is loaded.
It's loaded.
Vinicius, Rodrigo, Benzema, and Mbappe comes in. There's no room.
But guys, don't you think that, just on a quick note, don't you think that Real Madrid will probably need somebody younger but with the talent of Benzema?
I want to go and get the boy from Norway.
Haaland. But the point is, it looks like it is Man City who...
Is he? And I'm hearing that 2-3 years after playing for Man City,
he would go to Real
Madrid. There's a clause in that contract that tells that when Real Madrid comes calling, let me
But
go.
now that his agent has passed on.
But the fact that he's there, you see, people should get it right. When it comes to issues of Haaland,
his dad is...
Mino Raiola alone pulling the plug, so it was done in conjunction with his father.
All right, let's move it on. Let's have a look at Atletico Madrid. They were in the mix for the Champions League, but they're falling off horribly in the Spanish La Liga standing. And they took on Athletic Bilbao, and Ghanaians would have a lot of eyes on this because Bilbao have the Williams brothers who...
they terrorized them.
With their pace.
They terrorized the Atletico Madrid backline with their speed.
And that's Iñaki Williams, pace and power, and very durable. Very durable.
That's Jimenez.
And that's the youngest of the Atletico defensive pair.
Yeah,
and he was taken to the cleaners like that?
Yes, so clearly, Atletico not enjoying their time. Iñaki Williams there, terrorizing them. The Jan Oblak suffering in the post there. Atletico in the blue shirt, attacking, but they couldn't get themselves going. Godfrey Kondogbia plays for the Central African Republic, and they are in Ghana's AFCON qualifying group. So the Black Star selectors, please keep your eyes open. Central African Republic is a very dangerous country, and they could give problems. Antoine Griezmann hitting the post there. He's also had a very flat 2022.
Yeah.
And the World Cup, it looks like, will be his only consolation. Madrid conceding a penalty there. Really horrible. And Iñaki Williams scoring there. He doesn't score a lot, to be honest, but he's a very durable player. He's always around.
Yes. Look, I've always loved his work rate. His contributions are very solid. If you can get a system that requires that players benefit from him, that would be excellent.
Okay.
But Atletico Madrid, this is the season. After this season, they should let Simeone go.
It doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
They should let him go. If they really want to...
I think his contract expires 3 years from now, and he's the most paid
the highest
in the world.
In the world.
He's going nowhere.
They should let him go. If they really want to get the best out of this team, they should let him go.
Okay, we'll see. He's got a lot of attacking players. Some people feel that he's restricting the team with this style of play.
Yeah.
True. We'll see. Let's have a look at the La Liga results from the weekend. Yes, Sevilla, Cadiz 1-1. Alaves winning. They beat Villarreal 2-1. For Villarreal, this is not the perfect way to prepare for that game against Liverpool. Madrid winning, Valencia drawing, Athletic Bilbao winning, Elche 1-1, Granada 1-1 with Celta, Rayo Vallecano 1-1 with Sociedad, Barca beat Mallorca 2-1. Barcelona are hoping to close their season out really well. And there's a game on Monday between Getafe and Real Betis. Real Betis with the 40-year-old Joaquin, he's 40 plus, and he's heading into his final season. He says he'll give it one more roll of the dice before he quits there. Joaquin, iconic player for Real Betis. Fantastic player. Played at a point for Valencia. He's come back now. Let's move on to Germany. That league's title has been sorted by Bayern Munich for the 10th straight time. I'm sure they'll win another 10 or whatever. But over the weekend, they lost to Mainz. I'm sure they didn't care, really, because the league is almost done. They lost to Mainz by 3-1. But what was constant was that Robert Lewandowski scored again. It looks like even when Bayern Munich doesn't win, He scores his customary goal and he goes home a very happy man. Let's get to the Bundesliga to see Mainz beating Bayern Munich by 3-1. 3-1. They've already won the league. This result is really pointless. Dortmund, they are trying to consolidate their place in the top 4 and book a Champions League ticket. They played at home to Bochum. Very strange result there. Now, Erling Haaland scored 3 times, probably in honor of his departed agent, Mino Raiola. But it wasn't enough because Dortmund ended up losing by 4-3. All right, Dortmund losing, Bayern Munich losing. Bayern won't care. I'm sure Dortmund will certainly wrap up second place. Guys, following last week's capture of the Bundesliga by Bayern Munich, some people are beginning to wonder what's the future of the German Bundesliga.
And I'm one of such people. I'm one of such people. Look, to be honest with you, I think they'll have to invest a bit more in the Bundesliga and make this a bit more competitive. It's like Bayern are so financially sound.
Yeah, they are very sound team.
Of course, they can walk into any of the teams and bully them. Look at what they did to Leipzig. Yeah. They took their manager, took their best defender, took their best player, and then they weakened Leipzig. As we speak, they've done same to Dortmund. Lewandowski and Co, they were all product of Borussia Dortmund. It's the only reason why they are not going after Haaland is because of the demand of the salary the boy is going to take. Yeah. We are hearing that he's going to take close to about £500,000 at Man City.
And Bayern Munich clearly will not. They will not bow down to such a.
They will not do that. That is what. So, but look, the likes of Dortmund, the likes of Leipzig, Hamburg, Leverkusen, they are traditional Frankfurt and Co. Traditional team in the Bundesliga.
But so is Bayern Munich.
Who should be? I'm not saying who should be strengthened financially.
Okay.
If you want to look at the face of Bayern Munich, you want our best player. Okay, we are coming after Lewandowski. You understand what I'm saying? So that they keep the comp because look, it's become so one-sided, and Bayern themselves now don't use the German league or the Bundesliga to assess how good they are. They think that is always a wrapped-up title. If you are a coach of Bayern Munich and you don't perform in the Champions League, they'll come after you. So even Nagelsmann, having won the league, look, if he doesn't start next season properly, especially in the league or in the Champions League, they are going to sack him.
Okay. It happened to Niko Kovac.
Yeah.
There you go. He won the league. He won the FA Cup.
And Niko Kovac won the league and the German Cup.
The next season,
the following season, he lost to Dortmund and he was sacked. And with Germany, a journalist, a colleague journalist made a joke that it's one of those leagues that needs a lot of sheikhs, oil oligarchs to pump money into it. But those guys are turned off because of the structure of the German Bundesliga. It's a 49%.
You don't own
+1.
So even if
no matter how much I invest in the team, I don't own it. The team. It's for the fans, and so that's a big turn off for those guys. But in terms of proper footballing structure, in terms of talent, it's the one league that can attract a lot of investment. But because of the structure, if they can tweak it a little bit, it will make it more attractive to those investors. Because if I'm investing all this money into a team and I don't have the final say, it's a big turn off.
Interesting stuff there. So, like we said, Munich lost, but they've already wrapped up the title. Dortmund, very certain they'll finish second or so in the Bundesliga and qualify for yet another Champions League. As to whether Erling Haaland will be there next season, that is the big question, and whether or not Dortmund are getting ready to find a replacement. Wait to see how that one plays out. Let's have a look at the full results from the Bundesliga. There you have it. Union Berlin and Greuther Fürth 1-1. Bochum beating Dortmund 4-3. 1-1 between Wolfsburg and Stuttgart. Mainz beating Bayern Munich. And Köln, they beat Augsburg. It was 1-1 between Hertha Berlin and Bielefeld. And it was 4-3 between Freiburg and TSG Hoffenheim. TSG Hoffenheim, former team of Bobby Firmino in Germany. All right, let's move on to the Italian Serie A and AC Milan. They are hoping to fend off Inter Milan, who are not letting them sleep. It was AC Milan versus Fiorentina at the San Siro earlier today. Let's see how that one played out. Milan winning by a single goal to 0. Rafael Leao's goal. The difference there, guys, that was a very intense game.
It was so intense. You can see the people at Milan just hoping that their team will find a goal that will keep them on top of the league, because they are aware that any slip up from them Inter regains
will be there.
their advantage. And for me, look, I really do want them to win the league because it's been a while. I think
Since
it was
2011.
Max Allegri.
Since 2011, Max Allegri.
Yeah, and
When
I
Kevin
think
Prince Boateng was even
Boateng
at
there.
AC Milan.
Yeah. So I really do want them to win the league, to be honest with you.
But I love that save from Mike Mignon. That's a thumbs up for the scouting team of AC Milan.
Yeah, man. If you let go of
Donnarumma made high demands. They couldn't meet those demands. They let him go. Then they scouted him and they brought him in, and he's leading them very well.
It was a brilliant save. Point blank header. He had to parry it first and
then
grab the rebound. Because from a Ghanaian perspective, Alfred Duncan
he
played in this game.
Yeah, he played very well. I was just not comfortable the role given to him by the coach, where a typical box-to-box midfielder, but he was asked to play from the right. And then after the game, I've chatted him a bit. He said he had to step in on that side because of the injury to the person who normally plays there. And the coach sees him to be that sort of utility player that he can use to do so many things. So he has to do it for the team. But at the end of the day, these are the sort of games we want to see our players play. Isn't it? Going to the World Cup, we want to see our players competing in the big games, the top leagues, so that when the time comes for them to go and rep Mother Ghana, will be ready to match up to any opposition.
Okay,
in the World Cup.
We'll see how it goes. AC Milan trying to keep Inter Milan at bay in that title hunt. It's not easy. Milan are trying. Inter are just not giving up. Let's have a look at the Serie A results. Napoli, they were hot. They put Sassuolo to the sword. They won by 6-1. Cagliari 1, Verona 2. Sampdoria 1, Genoa 0. Spezia 3, Lazio 4. And I was watching a bit of that game. The Lazio getting a late goal to give them the edge. Ghana's Edwin Jesse was playing for Spezia. The Juventus 2, Venezia 1. And Juventus are trying to get their season together. Empoli 1, Torino 3. Udinese 1, Inter Milan 2. So Inter Milan not backing down. AC Milan 1, Fiorentina 0. And Bologna 0. AS Roma 0. AS Roma trying to win the UEFA Conference League. Mourinho wants to win the trophies. So he's trying to guide his team there. Let's not forget, he's already won Champions League. He's won the UEFA Cup. He's won the Europa League. And they drew 1-1 with Leicester on the road. So that's an okay result. Atalanta will face Salernitana on Monday. Earlier, we forgot to have a look at the Bundesliga table. So let's double back and let's have a look at that Bundesliga table. There you have it. Munich on 75 points. They've played 32 games. 2 games more. Dortmund
63.
Dortmund 63 there. Freiburg way back on 55. And you've got Leipzig as well. You've got Leipzig in the mix as well. Cologne, Union Berlin, Hoffenheim, Mainz, Frankfurt, Bochum, Wolfsburg, Mönchengladbach, Augsburg, Hertha Berlin, Stuttgart, Arminia Bielefeld, and Greuther Fürth. Greuther Fürth looks like they are dead. It doesn't look like they are going to stay up in the league. They are 9 points off with 2 games left. So their relegation officially confirmed there. So they are gone. Very good friend Hans Nunu Sape's team. It looks like he will be playing for a new team next season, I believe. I don't think he's staying from the conversation I've had with people close to him. Let's have a look at some messages rather. Somebody's asking, so do you think Chelsea will sit down and watch their former coach who doubles as their all-time scorer get relegated?
They should stop that. Okay. We just watched the game. There was nothing fishy in that. It was keenly contested. Look at the saves that Pickford made. If indeed it was a compromise game, Chelsea wouldn't compel him to make those saves.
Okay. Sir Daniel from Banana Inn says, today's win against West Ham, with today's win, I can say that Arsenal is on course for top 3, not top 4. Stanley from Teshi Bush Road, Rasta says, Chelsea for FA Cup, City is winning the league, Liverpool for Champions League, and Everton will survive. T-Bag from Zebila says, tell Coach Nimi that Real Madrid will beat Man City.
Well, it's football. They are very capable of beating them.
Reverend Leonard Avle from Lome, Togo says, I'm happy Hearts of Oak won, but I'm sad Chelsea lost. He says, why is Coach Chris not talking about Man United again?
United have not played. We'll play tomorrow. Rev, we'll play tomorrow. That's why there is no content of United.
Stephen Pechi from Laco Junction and the Volta Region says Real Madrid and Arsenal are the best. Sesule from Kwadaso in Kramum says, I can't sleep without watching scorecard. Thank you for watching as always. Liverpool for quadruple and says, Inshallah. Albert Kujo from Elmina says, our country is polluted with corruption and there's match fixing in the league. Okay, this one says, what makes Everton and Chelsea's match fishy? Okay, that's what Chris is asking. That match was highly competitive, and I don't think that the Premier League will condone
not at all.
Such things.
Go and watch the game and you see. You conclude from it. Say, go and watch the Ash Gold entire light once to compare.
The thing is, match fixing or sport betting, match fixing, they are connected and they are here to stay. They've been with us or with the sport for years and for decades. But the point is, in those countries, there are checks and balances. There are measures to ensure that it is whittled down to the barest minimum. But here, the checks and balances, the structures aren't really available. Okay. And even if they are available, they aren't applied to ensure that those things are cut down to the barest minimum. And that's why you have a lot of people who always view the Ghana Premier League with a little bit of a suspicious eye. And that's no good. That's no good at all.
All right. Churches, who's a new Brim, says, Man City will fall at the Bernabeu by 3-0. Interesting. This one is from Duru G. Charles. He's sending us a message from Owerri in Imo State in Nigeria. And he says, I enjoy every bit of Scorecard. Charles, we appreciate the fact that you watch us all the way from Nigeria. Please keep watching and spread the word. Get your other friends to tune in as well. Desmond Ahuma from Asesewa Akoto, he says, I'm enjoying the show. All right. Many, many thanks for watching. Please send us more messages. We have a few more minutes to go. We'll take a very snappy break. When we come back, I take concluding thoughts. Probably take the biggest things that jumped out to Chris and Yalmenta, and then we'll be wrapping it up. This is still Scorecard on CCTV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Scorecard. We are just about wrapping up the show, guys. So we've seen a lot, but guys, anything that jumped out at you this weekend?
Yeah, for me, it had to do with the fact that Norwich finally has been relegated. I think Watford will join them. The slot for third place is clearly between Everton, Leeds United, and then Burnley. But on the face of the pink sheet, I'm leaning more towards a Burnley or Leeds United.
Burnley or Leeds? Yeah. You think Burnley or Leeds will be the third team to go
join
down?
Those
Okay.
two.
Yeah. For you, what's jumped out at you?
This weekend, it has to do with the NBA playoffs. Most definitely. I've loved what the Milwaukee Bucks have done to the Boston Celtics.
They absolutely bullied them.
Yeah, earlier this evening, they absolutely bullied them, and they showed why they are the defending champions. I expect them to qualify to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I also expect them to make a repeat appearance in the NBA Finals. I definitely do see Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks going back to the NBA Finals and competing for the title for the second time in a row. Okay, all right. We'll see how all of that plays out. But many thanks for watching. My name is Nathan Kwa. I sat in for your regular host, Fentu Tahiru Fentu. I'm sure he'll be back next week. But many thanks for watching. Have a good night. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. And enjoy the holidays. There are two of them back to back. So enjoy them. Stay safe. We'll catch you all next week. This has been Scorecard on Citi TV. Have a good night.